Now we're going to take a look at the two types of accounting standards, GAAP versus IFRS. We'll talk about the various aspects of each and see where they converge, and in some cases where they do not converge. So what does GAAP stand for? It stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or GAAP. The measurement and disclosure rules that are used in the U.S. to develop our financial statements, as well as the related notes to our financial statements. GAAP was established by the FASB, another acronym, which stands for Financial Accounting Standards Board, which is based in Norwalk, Connecticut. The FASB is a private sector body with oversight from the SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission. Stay tuned for an interesting interview with an intern at the FASB who was a University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign graduate. You'll find that video at the end of this week's lectures. All right, so the Codification of Accounting Standards has been conveniently summarized into approximately 90 subtopics, as well as 9 main topics, which you can see on these two slides. Keep in mind there are literally thousands of U.S. GAAP pronouncements, so this makes it much easier to locate the particular accounting standard you're currently looking for. As you probably noticed by now, there are lots of acronyms in accounting, so feel free to refer to my glossary of terms to help keep track of them. So the U.S. standards we've talked about are GAAP, and basically they come into place through the FASB, the Financial Accounting Standards Board. Then we have the International Financial Reporting Standards, labeled IFRS, which are created by the International Accounting Standards Board, the IASB. Sort of makes sense, right? Obviously, having multiple standards is not an ideal situation in this global economy that we have today, and convergence efforts have been ongoing since 2002. Back in 2002, both organizations, the FASB and the IASB, signed what we call the Norwalk Agreement. Remember where the FASB is located? In Norwalk, Connecticut. That's the name. Then in 2008, the SEC roadmap listed out the conditions before the U.S. shift would be considered to go to IFRS. Unfortunately, 3 years later, more studies came out that identified key differences in these two sets of standards. And then finally, a year later in 2012, the SEC issued its final report, where it reached the following conclusion, and unfortunately not a good one. Basically, it's not feasible for the U.S. to adopt IFRS due to 2 reasons. One is the high conversion cost for the U.S. companies. Also, a second important would be the need for the U.S. to have stronger influence on the standards. And even a third, less important one would be many of our laws and regulations and contracts we have today have direct references to U.S. GAAP, which would incur some legal fees to change those.